Hello and welcome inside the High School Huddle, along with Ronnie Phillips, Phil Nichols, Chris Evans with you. We get set for the high school football season. We are counting the days down, and we are looking at the season preview, season records for the Bixby Spartans, the defending 6A1 state champions. But before we do that, let's hear a quick message from our proud sponsor, Generations Church. The High School Huddle is presented by Generations Church. Love God, love people, serve both well. Contact Generations Church by calling 405-282-6848 or visit them online at generationsguthrie.com. Be sure to follow the High School Huddle all season long on secondbananamedia.com. Also on our YouTube page, simply search Second Banana Media and subscribe and like so you can be alerted to our live shows and shows like this throughout the entire year. Bixby Spartans, guys, 6A1 last year, didn't flinch. They won a state championship after winning several more in 6A2. Couple of players left the program, but they got a few more players coming in. It's popular to be in Bixby right now, and they got another great team coming up this year.
Yeah, Bixby is what Bixby is. They're dominant. They were dominant in 6A2. They moved that to 6A1, didn't miss a beat. Just keep winning state titles, so they're as good as it gets in the state of Oklahoma.
Players graduate, but players step up again this year, Ronnie.
Yeah, Bixby, again, one little hiccup last year against Jinx. If they had an extra 30 seconds, they might win that game. They had to come back. But again, Jinx looking to have another good season this year.
Let's take a look at the Bixby schedule. It's a good one. Started off with the Owasso Rams. How about that right off the gate? And then got the Springdale Harbor, a team out of Arkansas. That team they handled pretty well. And then there's some games on there that you would highlight for Bixby as they're big ones. Obviously, Owasso, Norman North down in the Norman area would be a big one. Broken Arrow, Moore's getting better. Of course, that big one at the end could decide a district championship. More than likely will decide a district championship as it will be played at Jinx this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think you look at this schedule. The two that jump out at me are week one, first game of the year, Owasso, and the last game of district play, Jinx. I think those are the two possibilities. Of course, Broken Arrow, anything can happen. State's largest school, 5,000 plus students in high school there. So anything can happen, but you hit it on the head. It's popular to be a Bixby guy right now. Yeah, everybody wants to be a Bixby.
Yeah, Lauren Montgomery, a great coach. He's got a good staff around him as well. So you always have the Jimmies and Joes, but when you have the coaches putting it all together, it's hard to beat. Of course, there's a lot of great coaches in 6A, but Lauren has really elevated himself.
They're as good of a staff as there is.
Yeah,
no doubt.
So you take a look at that. The schedule, you mentioned Broken Arrow there, but there's some, Southmore's down. Enid will have a new coach this year. But there's some games that the Bixby teams in the past we know can just steamroll. We'll see if that gap is a little bit closer this year.
Yeah.
So, all right. We'll take a look at what we believe will be the season record for the Bixby Spartans. And I'm going to go in with that 9-1 record. I think that last game of the year, Jinx, we remember it last year. It was a great contest in the regular season. Of course, Bixby got the revenge in the playoffs, but I think Jinx will have that number one more time in the regular season. Doesn't mean Bixby won't go on to win the state championship, but I got Jinx getting by Bixby again, and I go Bixby 9-1, which is kind of. Is that a bad season for Bixby?
That's terrible.
I mean, is that like 9-1? What's going on?
Well, they canceled school for a week last year when they lost that game.
Phil, season record for
I'm exactly the same as you, Chris. I'm 9-1, and I think the same game for me, Jinx, Trojan. I mean, it's Jinx, right? I mean, if there's anybody on the schedule I think that's going to happen, it would be Jinx. I'm a big Owasso Rams guy. You guys know I love Owasso. I just don't think they're going to have the horsepower to get her done this year, but I think that week 10 against Jinx is where the Trojans is where Bixby will potentially trip up. But I will say this, don't be surprised if they're not my pick to win 6A1.
All right, and then we'll have that a little bit later on in the season.
Well, I got Bixby's is again, they're my favorite team. I like them to win this season. I think they'll go 10-0 this year. I think they will have a close game against the Wasps like they did week 0 last year. It was a real close game up to halftime. Then Bixby finally ran away with it towards the end. I do think they're going to get their revenge against Jinx, though. It was a tough loss like last year. Like I said, they had another 10, 15 seconds. They could go on and win that game as well. So I like Bixby to run the table this year.
Now,
not necessarily they win a state championship, but I think they'll win the regular season.
Right, well, even I got 9-1. Even if it's not Jinx, it could be Owasso. So my 9-1, I'll stick with that. Could be 8-2. Possibly.
could be.
It could be.
Could be 10-0.
Could be 10-0. Could be 10-0.
Not going to be 7-3, kids.
No.
If there was a case for 7-3, Owasso, Jinx, I think Norman North.
That would be the one.
Would be the one they can. Broken Arrow, maybe 6-4. No, I'm teasing.
Oh, boy.
Stop.
I'm teasing.
This is crazy talk.
All right. Well, we are looking forward to a fun high school football season. Hopefully, you can join us all season long. Be sure to subscribe and like to Second Midnight Media and, of course, the High School Huddle. Have a great day.